Namaskar everyone. Namaskar everyone. Today we are here for a chat on the mat, food as medicine, the healing power of nutrition. So recently friends, I came across the secret quote, and this quote is Annam Brahma, Raso Vishnuhu, Bhokta devo Maheshwara, which means that the food is divine in itself. When we consume, it spread across our body like the essence of Vishnu. And when we are having that food, when we are eating that food, we are ourselves God Maheshwara. So this is such a beautiful sacred quote that emphasizes that food is just not a physical activity, is more than that. In the past few decades, globalization, urbanization and the trending lifestyle changes, the patterns that have drastically altered our food habits. The shift from Indian cultural thali to dissected approach to consume food is gradual but significant. So once we used to follow the natural cycles of Rita and have the balanced meal, but now it seems like more of influence food like DASH diet, then flexitarian diet, then pescatarian diet, Mediterranean diet. So we have different diets now on our platter. I'm not saying that anything is wrong or bad, but I just want to throw some more light on this. I want to explore this thing more in a better way as a conversation, that where exactly we are going. Over the past 6 months, to revive Indian culture thali, we have been constantly doing these chat on the mat as a format of Instagram live with Rita, who's the writer, author of the book, The Fighting Cancer with the Thali. So we have been getting her on this Instagram, and our first session with her was to discuss about the timeless healing recipes from north to south of India, and which we have seen our grandparents cooking, our mothers cooking, and we are also consuming it. But there is a shift, there is a pattern that has been changed. Then second time again, we got overwhelming response on what we had conversation with Rita, and then again we got Rita after the Lancet report was launched, and India was ranked 3rd globally as an obese country. So can you imagine that we are already following so many diets, different regime, different kinds of platters? Then why we are standing as a 3rd ranked country in obese crisis globally? So I give you a question before I start with a conversation with Rita, that have you ever thought that consuming food is just about calorie count or nutrition? Food is broken down into that energy unit, into that currency unit that is utilized by cells, the basic unit of what humans are composed of, or any organism is composed of. So it is a basic unit to sustain life. Now, going back to the same thing, that food is just a physical activity, then why in a culture we had the sacred quote Annam Brahma, Raso Vishnuhu, Bhokta devo Maheshwara? I started this entire conversation with this entire shlok, and I'm bringing back you to this shlok to consider that food in the light that the intention behind how we cook and how we consume really matters. And maybe that's the reason that in our culture, food is just not treated as, something to consume, get energy and do your work. It is more than that. It has a pure healing. That's why we say ahar hi aushadhi hai. Food is healing, food is medicine. So the entire conversation today is to draw some light on not about what our platter is consumed of, but how we are consuming it. What is the intention behind how we prepare food and how we consume food. So let's get Rita and have on this, who has written a book on fighting cancer with Ithali. She's also the founder of the Breathing Room. Hey Rita,
I should.
namaskar.
So that was a very nice introduction. I love that quote.
You really love that, the quote which I said, the sorry, Annam Brahma, Raso Vishnuhu, Bhokta, devo, Maheshwara.
Yes, yes.
So this is clear that food is, by this quote, this is clear that food is just not a physical practice. Consuming food is just not a physical practice, but there's a spiritual game out there. But here I have one question with you, Rita, before I start with this conversation. There was a time the entire food industry, dietitian, nutritionist, everyone was focusing on refined oil as vegetable oil, as a food to cook, which was also considered to be heart healthy. But then there are research came in that ghee is beneficial, and it became like, what do you call, heart healthy food, and overwhelmingly people embrace ghee, that you see shallow fry food is also done in ghee. Then we'll sprinkle ghee on our rice and everything. Everything is now being consumed in ghee as a vehicle. So I want to understand that, what are your thoughts on this pendulum shift on the food trends?
Well, unfortunately, pendulum keeps happening with everything, not just ghee and oil. Yeah. So ghee is good. I heard a nice quote. It was ghee, but moderation is the key. So if you remember that. So going back to, there's two factors here. The nutritional trends are usually fueled by marketing corporates. That one little thing, nutritional, even, I mean, they even support the research, or they fund the research, I should say. So something comes out and they jump on the bandwagon. Like, for example, olive oil. Olive oil came out, it was healthy, but we cannot use it in our tadka. It cannot sustain the high. Then what comes? Something called pomace olive oil. So pomace olive oil is actually very processed. It is the seeds and the skin and everything after you to get the extra virgin and the virgin olive oils, that would come. And then they do have to put in additives in that. So it's not a healthy oil, but it's being marketed as a healthy oil. It's even actually banned in Spain. And I think it's very regulated in UK and other countries. So why are we getting it? Why is it being marketed here? It really angers me that they just can treat Indians. Well, we'll take anything. So it's not right. So we need to bring that to everyone's the forefront, that this is not a healthy oil. As far as ghee goes, you can have a little bit in moderation. I'd like to read something from my first book that I've written about ghee. So there are many myths about ghee. Firstly, eating ghee does not make you smarter or stronger, but it can make you fatter. Okay. And secondly, Ayurveda does not preach that ghee is a wonder food. In Ayurveda, food is eaten according to your dosha. You need ghee if you have a vata dosha, and vata means you're more active and in that kind of thing. And even then, you still need to use it in moderation. So all that given, if you want to use ghee, just use it in moderation. Even oil, all fats, you have to use less of it. Try cooking with less fat. So that is my recommendation about ghee and all fats.
I completely agree with you.
We don't need so much oil in our food. Yes, our body needs the fat for getting the nutrients from other food to absorb those nutrients, but we don't need a lot of it. And now we're also competing, okay, we have ghee in our food, but we're also eating a lot of other fatty foods that we didn't have. In Punjab, okay, you had your where they eat a lot of ghee in their butter chicken and in their foods. But now they're also, also consuming cake and pizza, and that also has that fat. So we don't need to have that much ghee.
It seems like that we are in a cusp of losing our traditional diet but still holding it, and getting influenced by Western diet and still holding it. So we are in kind of a blend and mixture of what to pick. There's kind of a mental fatigue on it.
Yes, definitely.
So traditionally, Rita, our meal used to be planned with ritucharyas, seasonal foods and vegetables. But now we have more of calorie counts, nutritional goals to be achieved. So we are doing so much. There's so much digitally available. Indian markets are have abundance of different foods to be consumed, but still we rank third globally on obese crisis. So, what do you think? What should be our focus point here? How and where exactly we are going in addressing this diet, addressing our nutritional goals, and kicking out our traditional thali system?
Yeah, so counting calories has not helped us, obviously, and there's a whole science behind this. It's um, weight and obesity is not always about calories in, calories out. There's a book called The Obesity Code that explains a lot of this, and many others. It's about insulin, about your hormones. It's a science. And unfortunately, in these many years, I've written about obesity so many years, but the obesity numbers are just going up, and it's unfortunate. And the only way we can help this is by eating more homemade foods. And the other thing is, there's too much information out there.
Yeah.
There's I mean, every media outlet, from radio to magazines to there's so many, Instagram, everything. Everyone is saying something about your diet, telling you what to eat. But the thing is, people still want more information, and they just want to absorb this information because they're looking for a quick fix. They're desperate to either get, for some health reason or to lose weight. And so they just want to hear the next best thing. Okay, maybe this will help me, or maybe this diet will help me. But unfortunately, there's no quick fix for health. Good health is a constant consistency. You have to be consistent in what you do. What you do every day matters, and what you put in your body goes in your cells and makes a difference to your health. Our thali is a scientifically balanced meal. It can always be improved, and it has to be improved as we're moving less. But if you think about it, we have some raw, we have some pickle to enhance our taste for people, and then we have the vegetables, we have the right carbohydrate, and and it has all the spices. It has the tadka, which we discussed, I think, last time, the science of the tadka and how that it helps us absorb all the goodness of the spices. So it's a balanced thing, and people, you can have healthy food at home, and that is the only way you will stay healthy. As far as losing weight goes, it's a different different topic, and there's ways to do that even with the thali. And also, I want to bring in millets. I know that this is the year of the millets, and millets are a wonderful food. You shouldn't go overboard. You should let your body adjust to all the millets, and you should not be prone to advertising again with millets. There's so many things being this like ragi cookies, and they're still processed, and they're still bad. So you have to be careful of marketing. Now, I mean, we talked about olive oil, the marketing. Now the millets marketing is coming in. So I want to point that out. In fact, McDonald's is coming out with a millet bun. I was shocked. No, and Sanjeev Kapoor, I know he's promoting it, and there's no way it's healthy. There is no way, because first of all, to make that, so in bulk, it doesn't stay healthy. That processing of that food, of that bread, and then everything that goes inside the bread, nothing is healthy. Nothing in McDonald's is healthy. So, and then, you have fries with that, or even if you just have the burger, you're not gaining any health by having a millet bun with it. So I think that's awful that they think they're helping India's health by doing this.
Sounds like an oxymoron. Healthy fast food.
Yeah, they're exploiting exploiting us. Our desire for healthy foods and our desire to be more healthy. So please do not fall for it.
I think the healthy food starts by cooking yourself in your own kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain amount. I mean, maybe you cannot cook all the time, but you have to make smart choices when you're eating out or ordering in. I mean, limit it. But when you are doing it, and you can simpler foods. I just think we need to simplify our foods. I know that we're watching food shows all the time, but we're not really cooking. So yeah. I think we just need to simplify our life and simpler foods. It can be all nationalities, even whatever, Chinese, Italian. It can be healthy and streamlined, made easier. So when you need a change, it's always there.
So Rita, extending on this, now I have my next question is on the culture which is rising is on consuming of supplements. How do you see, with the diet culture, consuming of too many supplements, where are we going? As in, like, is it a holistic, healthy way to having so much of different kinds of supplements to support your diet or to support your daily food habits?
See, some supplementation is necessary, like iron. Sometimes it's just not able to get everything from food. So many women, Indian women, are deficient in iron. Iodine. There's this, people want to use Himalayan salt or some fancy salt without the iodine. It's a very minuscule thing. Whereas you're getting the nutrition from the Tata salt or whatever salt, it's processed, but it has the iodine. So, the small things like that, just be aware of. If you want to do supplementation, you should go to a nutritionist and consult with her. Do not follow anyone on Instagram or Facebook or what you read. Get the proper guidance for the supplementation. A lot of people are B12 deficient, but you need a blood test. You need to find out. Vitamin D is a big, we're not getting enough vitamin D, but sometimes it's going extreme and people are, there's too much vitamin. Yeah.
Now we have toxicity.
Yeah, toxicity. So you should be under the guidance of the proper doctor or nutritionist and then do the supplementation, not just follow it blindly from what you read.
What you read and what you watch.
Yeah, what you watch, what you read, who you listen to, to be careful.
Yes. So, Rita, now my next question is, you have been consistently past 6 months promoting the concept of thali with the modern approach for the modern life, for the people who are into this urbanized living. But now here, my intention is, yes, the food is healing, but how we consume food, and especially something that is coming as a shocking trend is across the world. This is something, a global trend, where kids, adults are consuming food while watching digital screen. I have a special addressal for the kids where we used to have food, consuming food was used to be a family affair. We used to sit together, have discussion, mindful eating, discuss about the food which we took hours to prepare. That was something which we used to do. But this has gone something backseated, and now we consume, like, we are digitally consuming and we are physically consuming and mindlessly eating. So what is your suggestion on children's development while having food when exposed to digital screen?
Okay, everyone wants the best for their kids, right? So if that is true, I mean, it is true. You need to sit with your kids. A family that eats together stays together. We've all heard that, right? In the evenings, and one parent might be working late. but the other parent can sit with the child, have food with the child, and listen to them. It's important. Okay, sometimes you all sit in front of the TV, want to watch something. I know, it's going to happen, and it does happen. But do it together. Take a break. Understand where the food is coming from. There's this, yeah, and in general, kids are being more isolated these days. They don't need to meet anybody outside. Everything is online forums, chats, games, community. So, try to make an effort. It's an effort. It is an effort. Have a detox day. Have a detox half a day. Or, keep the phones away while you're eating. When we go out to eat, we don't do it so much anymore, but in the early days when everyone was really on the phone, we would have to keep our phones away, and anyone who picked up the phone first would have to pay the bill. So,
that's a nice penalty. That's a
yeah,
nice punishment.
just use some tricks and make it fun if necessary. You have to make an effort to do it. So have the detox time.
No, I completely agree. But here I have an important question for the adults as well. That majority of the adults having one or the other meal, either while traveling or at their desktop, like at their workstation in front of their desktop. I still remember this Indian movie, Lunchbox, where the actor used to go to the canteen, open his lunchbox, used to smell the each dabba, and then used to have each bite of it. It wasn't used to be like, watching the screen and having the morsel one after the another, mindless eating. He used to, connect with that each morsel and, enjoy that meal. So, how to reclaim that practice? What will that have in a healthy benefits on us?
Yes, I mean, I remember this was some time ago. I think it still happens. There is a dabba culture at work. People bring out their dabbas at lunchtime. There's a lunchtime. And people open the dabbas and people are sharing. Before, I used to I was not used to that concept because I was not from India. But it's a beautiful concept. I mean, we need to reclaim that. People are looking at how things are made and what person has in that dabba and what can I have some of that, and trying that kind of food. And I think it's still there. And if it's not there, it should be encouraged by the corporates. You should not be sitting at your desk and eating. You should have that minimum half an hour break, maybe 20 minutes to eat your dabba and 10 minutes to walk. I think that's very necessary. People comment on the Gujarati community for carrying all their food, the teplas and this when they travel, but it's a wonderful practice. Now looking back, because what are the options when you go to an airport? You have McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I mean, so when you have that wholesome food, it's just better for you. And yeah, I think we should reclaim it, and corporate culture should encourage people to, I mean, they offer food, they offer the canteen, but that's good. At least you sit together and you eat it. They should stop the snack food, all the junk they offer. But if they offer the wholesome thali, it's good. It's a good practice to eat together, even at work.
So, Rita, coming to the conclusion of a conversation, I think the first thing for everyone to take away is the balance. Balance in any kind of food, approach, trend, lifestyle which we are picking. Do not overdo it, but get a balance on it, right?
Yes, yes. I'd like to say something about, we have too much. And I think, the food culture, we're not celebrating our traditions maybe as much as we should. And one way to do that is to give gratitude to the food. I know our mothers and grandmothers used to, just say, do this before they ate, right? Maybe, maybe that can't happen, but we should teach our children a gratitude. Okay, we are talking obesity, we're talking about too much food, but there are, so much of our population that goes home, that is hungry, that does not have food, and we should remember that, and give gratitude for what we're eating, that we have to eat. And Secondly, that how much effort it to get that food on the plate. Okay, cooking is one thing. Cooking is, of course, an effort, and we have to be thankful for the person who cooked. But what about the farmers? The farmers are uh, one of the poorest communities in the country, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate fact of India.
Yeah. So the work they've put in, the efforts they have put in, the truck drivers who bring the food, the even the wholesalers, everybody, the how has that food got to your table? And give a 10 seconds of appreciation of that food. It would make a big difference. That is one thing. Secondly, eat in a peaceful environment. When you're eating with a lot of loud noise, or if your family is fighting, you don't digest the food. It's not what you eat, it's how you digest. Digestion is very important. And now they're talking about the gut, but Ayurveda talked about the gut 5,000 years ago. Everything is through our stomach, and it's very true. So that, and don't rush through the meal. Eat mindfully, pay attention, and appreciate the food.
No, I totally relate with each word of yours, with the gratitude from where it is coming, the energy which we build around. Because the energy what we are having as in food, and it goes inside and breaks down, it has a lot of effect on building us, building our thoughts, and how we are. So I totally agree with you on that concept, and maybe that's the reason that we should revive back our traditional culture of eating practices. How we fix it, how we bring that balance in a modern life, but that is the need of hour. Before picking up any kind of different diets which are trending, but before that, the culture of having food together and in a happy environment with the gratitude really, really matters.
Yes,
So
it does.
thank you so much, Rita, for joining us and sharing this beautiful message with our audience today. Because this message does not go out from one tradition itself, it's a geographical message. It's a message that can be applied irrespective of your demographic and geographical location.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
For every
yes. Thank
Thank you, Shivani.
you so much. Thank you, Rita. It was really nice talking to you. Bye bye.